So this is the third video in our Jefferson Flats series here. I'm going to start talking about phase 2 of our project. Phase 1 was to analyze this surface and identify low spots where we would want to put catch basins, and you can see I've done that and I've marked those places just with circles. Nothing special about those. You can also notice maybe that a lot of these catch basins are sort of paired up opposite each other along alignments. Maybe for obvious reasons. You can see this is a crowned road by looking at the contour lines here, and so water falling on this road is going to travel into the gutter away from the crown of the road. So I am going to have a lot of these paired up catch basins. And before I get started with building a pipe network, I have to have some parts available to me that maybe aren't available to you if you're using the out-of-the-box software. So you can type this right into your command line, and that command is create. So let me get into the command line. Create network parts. And you can see it start to populate there. Create network parts list full. And I'm going to hit enter. And I had already created that parts list for this drawing, but that is the process to create that parts list. So now when we create our pipe network, we have a whole bunch of choices for pipes and structures. So I am ready for a storm network now. So I'll go up here to the pipe networks drop down and select this pipe networks creation tools. And now I can start inputting my data. So I'm going to call this network storm. And you can see that full catalog is available to me here in my parts list dropdown. So I'm going to select full catalog if it's not already populated. You have to reference a surface. So we are working in the development topo surface. I'm not going to select an alignment right now. I will leave the name only label styles on, but you can change those later if you don't like the display style. So I've input all my info here, and now I can hit OK. And that will bring up this network layout tools toolbar. And here I'm going to select my structure. So I want, let me look at my notes here, I want the concrete structure with a rectangular frame. So cylindrical structure, rectangular frame. Concrete, cylindrical with rectangular frame. So right there, if I expand that parts tree, here I've got only one structure to pick from, so I'll select that. And then as we build this pipe network, we'll likely be using some concrete pipe, but I'm only going to install my structures at this point, so you can leave that alone for now. But I do want to hit this drop down here for pipes and structures and select structures only. So now I am ready to start placing structures in my drawing. Oh, did I freeze? Here we go. Little laggy, but I'm going to start by placing some of these structures here, and notice it's counting up as I place these structures. That's based on the naming style that was selected. And I'm going to just travel along these alignments and sort of in a linear fashion place my structures along these alignments because of that naming scheme, and that'll help me keep my drawing nice and tidy later on, especially if you have a lot of structures in your drawing. You don't want to have structure 1 over here and structure 2 somewhere else. And I'm not going to place all my structures in this video. That would just be a lot of clicking around. But I want to note, if you happen to close this tool panel, in order to get back into that tool panel so you can continue placing structures in this pipe network, you can select one of these structures and your ribbon should change, and you get the option to edit pipe network. So if I click on that, here is my network layout tools again. So Couple of tips for you as you start this first part of phase 2, and then I'll talk about the second part of phase 2 in the next video, where we actually, after we've placed these catch basins, we need to define the area that is going to drain to those catch basins so we can start doing our pipe sizing. Then we can place our pipes into this network. So I will go through that in the next video.